Yeah, congratulations to the Super Eagles of Nigeria for winning that game against Uganda. I think the match was like a very good one. Everyone expected that Eric Chell would rest some very key players and bring in, some like Team B players for the game against Uganda. And all we needed was like a draw, all we needed was a draw, and then we will be fine because our qualification into the round of 16 was like guaranteed. And yeah, everyone expected that, but what we did not expect was a dominant performance against a Ugandan side that desperately needed a victory in order to progress in the competition. Thanks to our dominant performance, Uganda has to book their return ticket to Uganda and forget about this competition and maybe watch it from home. But I was really impressed by what I saw. Yeah, big shout out to Onyedika. Those two goals were like, guy. To be honest with you, I was really impressed by with the quality of those goals he scored for us. Apparently, you can see that he's an elite player, and I hope that a big club discovers him and snatch him away from Club Brugge, where he plies his trade in Europe. Congratulations to Oyedika for the goal. Congratulations to Onuachu. These two players are players that usually don't feature, and they're not part of our first 11, but they were able to make a statement for themselves and and contribute massively towards the victory that we had today against Uganda. I think that apart from what Oyedika did, I think that I also love the fact that I think this one boils down to Eric Chell, because in the first half we had like double strikers. We had Onuachu and we had Osime in the box, and it was very difficult for us to create chances. So people like our two wingers, Simon Moses and Chukwueze, they were not get they were it was impossible for them to get into the dangerous areas from where they could actually supply passes to Sime and Onuachu, which would eventually lead to a goal. So it was difficult for them to get into these dangerous positions, and this is one of the reasons why in the first 30 minutes of the game we really struggled, because yes, we were able to we didn't really have total dominance of the midfield, but we were trying to create those chances, and it wasn't happening, right? So someone like Simon Moses, for example, Simon Moses was trying too hard, in those 1v1 situations. But the moment he beats one player, there's another player there to snatch the ball away from him. So it apparently wasn't working. And I think at some point, Eric Chell probably instructed Chukwueze to change how he was doing. So instead of receiving the ball and forcing his way through into the dangerous zone, so he would receive the ball wide. And the moment he receives the ball wide, someone from the midfield like Dele Bashiru runs into space. And all Chukwueze does is just to lay the pass into space for the guy who runs there. And then that's usually the dangerous position you want to be at in order to supply a quality pass to someone like Osime and Onuachu. And this is what we did, and this is one of the reasons why our attacks today were coordinated from the right wing. The left wing was almost dead. It was just Simon Moses dribbling, and at the end of the day, it yielded in nothing. I think that Simon Moses was unable to make a case for himself in this match why he deserves to be in the first 11. Someone like Onyedika and Onuachu made a case for themselves, and I can see Eric Chell scratching his head right now and saying, okay, I think I probably need to give these guys more minutes, because apparently, they're scoring. So they scored today and contributed to our victory. So I think that that's another good thing that I see. I'm talking about the little tactical changes that happened down the right wing that made it very possible for us to attack dangerously and create those chances, which eventually led to goals. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. In terms of what didn't really go well, apparently I already mentioned it. This guy Simon Moses was trying too hard to bulldoze his way, but it didn't work. And that made our left wing pretty much dead. What else went bad? I think that it was very careless of us to allow Uganda pull one back, because Uganda was like a man down. They had the man down. Their second choice goalkeeper was substituted. No, he got a red card, and it was 10 against 11. And with 10 against 11, Uganda could still claw one back. I knew that there was no way Uganda could, work their way out of that, score 2 or 3, score 3, maybe force us to a draw, win the game. I know it was impossible, but nonetheless, allowing them to score that was like really, really careless of us. And I think that this is something that Eric Chel might want to speak to the boys about going forward into the round of 16. I'm super happy for Huzoho. I hope that Nwabali, gets back for the round of 16. For Huzoho was pretty decent today, but he was not he wasn't really tested as much. I think he wasn't really tested, and by the way, he considered a goal today. So Nwabali is pretty unreliable, but I still prefer Nwabali if he's like if he's like fit. Of course, I would like to see him keep for the Super Eagles in the round of 16. I'm super happy that we were able to claim the first spot on the table, which means that we should have our way to the final should be relatively easier, right? Because we should end up playing like a team that finished second in their group, or one of those teams that are placed in the top 4 spots of the rankings of the third place team. So it's a good thing that we finished top of our table. But guys, do not forget, this is not the first time Nigeria will be finishing top of the table in AFCON. It happened like I don't remember if it happened under Pesero, but under like Iguava, I remember we had like 9 points, and round of 16 we were like ousted by Tunisia. I hope that doesn't happen. I really trust in Eric Chel. By the way, Eric Chel is a wonderful manager. Had he been our coach since the beginning, like before the qualifiers, I'm pretty sure we would have clinched that World Cup ticket. But he's such a great guy. I remember when he was like appointed as a coach of the national team. I was like, is that not the dude that managed Mali? He was very famous for that meme where someone was like pointing some water on his head. But I'll tell you that over time, he has really proved himself with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and I really have his back. So I believe that the round of 16 would also be a walk in the park for us. By the way, congratulations to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We've put 8 goals past the net, past our opponent. Basically, I don't think there's any other team I do not think there's any other team right now in the tournament that has scored as many goals as Nigeria has. Kudos to Nigeria, and thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you very much for those who were part of like the watch along that I hosted on multiple platforms. Thank you very much for being a part of it. For those who were not part of it, I hope that you will join us at our next watch along. Just follow Pluto Ballers on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch, so you can get like the notification when our next watch along would go live. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.